I joined Skal. This was the happiest day of my life. I haven't been to them yet. I'm dreaming of them, right? It fits my face mask. Not cool. I joined Skal. This was the happiest day of my life. January 2015. I've been a Skal junkie for a little while, and I was just honored to be asked by a dear friend of mine to be able to join and go through the process. So it's been since then. Oh my gosh, I have so many. I would probably say this one. This is one of my best memories. I was with a fellow member, Christy Sanders, and we were in Barcelona for IBTM. Didn't even know Christy was there at all. I'm going on taking care of some business I was doing on behalf of a tech company there, and just having a good time. And then I saw Christy. I was like, Christy, what are you doing there? Because Christy was living in Atlanta, just like I was living in Atlanta, right? And she technically was my sponsor for Skal. So we're all excited. And then all of a sudden, I realized I had looked at my information that there was supposed to be a meeting in Barcelona during the time of IBTF. And I was like, oh, this is going to be exciting. Christy's like, well, should you go? Let's go. Let's figure out how to go. And I didn't know what to do. So what I did is I took time to reach back out to Mary Lou, who is also my mentor in Skal here in Atlanta. Well, she was in Atlanta. And I said, hi, I'm here in Barcelona. What do I do? With Christy and I want to go to the meeting. How can this happen? She moved everything out of the way to help me and get everything we need to do in order to put us in touch with the contacts in Barcelona for that particular meeting. And it took a minute, time zones and everything like that, but we were able to actually go to the meeting and meet our fellow Skalleagues in Barcelona and be welcomed. And that was my very first international meeting with Skal ever. So I felt really excited to meet not only people from around the world at the time, because there were others there, but also the people who were there locally, and then be welcome. So I was really excited. I think both. If I want to be honest, that COVID has been a blessing, I think, to the world and a gift to the world on one end and horrifying on the other. However, that's what life is about, because we're not going to have our journey here on earth just happy all the time or just tragic all the time. And we needed something to kind of level set and bring us to the point where we can, what I call, respect and to pause and step back and say, are we doing good business? Are we treating our fellow humans well? Should I be doing something differently? Should I be respecting and paying more attention to those people who are in my home? And how can I just show up in life a little differently? So it's unfortunate of all of the lives that we've lost. However, I think what COVID has done is it's let us come together and be closer in those relationships that we have and be able to have an ability to foster, hopefully, a sense of collaboration and bringing together the way humans should, as opposed to being so competitive and against and just negative. So I am more of an optimist around what the outcomes will be, even though it's been tough. Oh, wow. Yes, I found all kinds of ways to develop my business. And it was because others asking me to do something that I may or may not have been as comfortable with or love to do. Because you remember, pre-COVID, we could choose what we wanted to do, however we wanted to do it. But when there was the rug taken out of under us, when our whole industry collapsed, you kind of had to just do what you needed to do to get by. So I did shift a few things and do things a lot differently than I would have before, and spoken and partner with some people I might not have even thought of partnering with before. So yes, and I think that it's they're more authentic relationships than in the past. I would recommend for my colleagues who've been hit by the tragedies that have happened, especially the loss of income, right? People as well, of course, is that you have to hopefully reach out to those who are closest to you. And then other chapters doing more. I would love to see more partnerships among the chapters, either from a regional standpoint, because the landscape of our lives is hybrid, meaning anything we'll do a little bit digitally and we'll do a little bit in real life, if you will. And that percentage may change on how much I go face to face versus how much I do digital. Some people just may say, I'm just not going to go back out again to things. So what is in your immediate reach, your immediate community, and then from a regional standpoint on how you can rely on each other. And hopefully that says I'm going to resonate around the skill sets that others have and hopefully bring those out and foster and grow. So, and just having a place to say, hey, I just need help. And I think we don't do enough of, hey, I need help. We live up to more of the reputation of who we used to be, as opposed to realism of now as we need each other. So hopefully that is helpful to my fellow Skalleague. My biggest one is respecting the pause. I have a little hashtag, respecting the pause, period. And that means we're moving too fast. We're going too fast. Let's just stop real quick and think about this before we move, act, or say, or do. And even if the end result is what you thought, at least you took a moment to think about it. And being human first is another big thing for me. How can I help and give first and not take so much? I don't always have to be on social. I don't always have to push out messages constantly. I can get, and it should be reciprocity in that process. So also, how am I receiving value for the times in which I do choose to give my talents or thoughts and words and, and deeds? So it's respecting the pause, and then am I humanity first. The last place that I visited, and I'm hesitating only because of post-COVID, my brain on time frames changed. I don't know what anyone else but mine have. So I would say it was California. San Diego was one of the it wasn't the very last, but it was one of my very last trips in January of 2020. I did have 2 in February and some in March. Technically, the week that everything shut down on March 9th, I was supposed to fly out that Thursday and had just come back that Sunday. But for the life of me, I can't even remember what city that was I flew in. It's all a blur. COVID kind of put a blur over that piece. But yeah, I was traveling very often during that time. So I've already traveled. I know, don't tell anybody. So MPI had WEC, as everyone knows, and they did it hybrid. So I was fortunate enough to be a part of the hosted leadership experience during WEC in Fort Worth. So I did travel at that point, and it was an interesting experience, to say the least. I'm a logistics junkie, love to see how logistics roll, and I did enjoy going through that experience. So now I know what the attendee looks like. But coming up soon, it's just personal travel. I need just a little respecting the pause and woosah, so I'll do some local driving and thinking about a destination for a brief little woosah. I have not visited as many countries as my heart and my spirit has. So physically, Tess has only visited about 7 countries, but that is going to change. Everyone who knows Tess knows she lives and breathes Delta. She can't do anything without Delta, and not because Delta's here in Atlanta. No. Delta is one of the few airlines, US-based, that treats you with the high level of service and just treats you very well. Even, I knew this all the time, but when COVID happened, you should just take a look at what the CEO did during that time to help everyone out, what they're continuing to do. So when I had to travel for WEC, I assumed that every airline didn't sell the middle seat. Delta still doesn't sell the middle seat all through this time. Just little things like that. So hands down, Delta, I'm a through thick and thin. I will do whatever it takes to fly Delta. So one of my favorite places to go to, because I haven't been to a ton of beaches around the world, per se. I love Aruba. And the reason why I love Aruba is because of the temperature being so what I call tepid, right? Where I can get the hot and a cool breeze all at the same time with the crosswinds. The waters are beautiful, it's laid back, and I love the people, right? I don't like things that are like touristy areas, and I don't like too much seclusion, and I can get all of what I need to get from that island. To me, it's one of the most perfect places. Prague was gorgeous when I went. Galapagos Islands, I've not been, I've just been wanting to go. Micronesia, for some reason, I just have to be there. Spiritually, I just says I need to go there. And, believe it or not, I'm a Chicago girl. I'm born and raised in Chicago, and well, born and raised to a point in Chicago, I should say. And I love Chicago and every aspect of it because it's city. The architecture's there, the people are there, all the culture are there. So US based, I would say Chicago because it's gorgeous, Prague, Micronesia, and the Galapagos Islands. Two of my favorite places. One is the Melilla in Sitges in Spain. It was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And it's probably because I loved Sitges so much, but I loved staying at that hotel. I had a wonderful, wonderful experience. My next one is the Agriturismo di Acquasaroni in Tuscany, Italy. Beautiful place, beautiful countryside. And they have everything from glamping to full-on space for conference, space for meetings, various different cottages around the property. We went and did all kinds of different things. I even went truffle hunting there. So it was a wonderful, beautiful experience. What can I travel without? I used to be my purse and my wallet. I couldn't travel without. Now, post-COVID, I cannot be without my UV zapper. And I call it a zapper because it has a UV light in it and it sterilizes anything that you want to put in it. I could put my cell phone in here. You just plug it up. I could put anything in here I want to. And what I did when I started traveling, when I had to travel for WEC, is I didn't know that my actual face mask would fit in here. So imagine if you had to go to lunch, right, for one of the conferences, lunch, where are you about to put your face mask? Or your shield specifically, right? So I put it in here, and you can also sterilize it. So even though it's cute, it looks like a vanity, it technically is a UV light, I call it, again, zapper. So that way it's all sanitized, it's clean, and it can sit right there on the table as I'm eating lunch, and I can stay clean.